We tend to think about bridges as these beautiful, towering examples of human ingenuity, right? All sleek steel and concrete.
Masterpieces, yeah.
But what about the other side of that? The bridges that don't inspire awe, but just, pure gut-wrenching terror.
And that's exactly what we're digging into today. We've got a whole stack of sources that look past the shiny architectural awards and focus on structures where just crossing them is, and I'm quoting here, inviting death.
Wow.
But this isn't just a list of scary places. We're really trying to figure out what these bridges say about human determination. That need to find a path forward, even when that path is just a couple of flimsy planks over a giant chasm.
Okay, let's just jump right in because some of these are almost hard to believe. We're talking about bridges with planks so far apart you literally have to leap across.
Or bridges so high that the clouds are floating hundreds of feet below you.
And we have to start with what might be the most bizarre one of all, a major bridge that has to be rebuilt from scratch every single year, completely out of grass.
Oh.
So we're starting with what we've called the primitive challenge. These are structures where the danger comes from just old age, flimsy materials, or straight up decay.
And the absolute poster child for this has to be the Husseini Hanging Bridge in Pakistan. It's stretched over the Hunza River.
And that river is no joke. It's turbulent, it's icy.
Exactly. And the bridge itself, it's not modern at all. We're talking old ropes and wooden planks.
Yeah.
The sources all describe it as looking like it's close to breaking, even on a perfectly calm day.
That's the part that really gets me, the actual walking surface. The main hazard isn't just that it's old, it's the huge, long gaps between the wooden planks.
Right.
This is not a solid floor. You have to consciously plan every single step, making these really long, difficult strides. You misjudge one of those, and that's it.
And that's before you even factor in the environment, which is what makes it so much worse.
The wind.
The wind. When those fast, unpredictable winds kick up, the whole bridge just swings violently from side to side.
So you're trying to take these long, careful steps while the floor is moving under you.
And critically, there are no safety walls. There are no side railings, just a couple of ropes to hold on to. If you fall, that Hunza River below is so fast, so turbulent, you're gone instantly.
It's this terrifying combination of decay, impossible footing, zero safety, and that relentless wind. So, why is it still being used?
Yeah, that's the fascinating part. The sources point out this really stark contrast. For tourists, it's a nightmare. It's a test of nerve, something for bragging rights.
But for the local people,
It's just necessity. It's habit. For them, it's the shortest path. Sometimes it's the only path. And that completely changes how you calculate risk, When getting there is more important than how safely you get there.
that makes sense. But if we take that idea of primitive materials and shift it a little from necessity to, say, ritual, we have to talk about the Quechua Bridge in Peru.
Ah, yes. This is such a fascinating one. It's a relic of the Inca civilization, but it's built from materials that are, by their very nature, temporary.
This is the detail that floors me. It spans a massive gorge, and it's not made of iron or wood or concrete. It's woven entirely from grass ropes.
Braided grass, yeah. It's an incredible piece of ancient, sustainable engineering. They use this local grass, koya, but because it's organic, it rots. It weakens with the rain and the sun and just people walking on it.
So it has a built-in expiration date?
A very short one. It has to be completely rebuilt by the local communities every single year. It's less of an engineering project and more of a cultural event. They even celebrate it with a huge festival.
But that sounds terrifying from a safety perspective.
Yeah.
If you know the whole thing is designed to basically fail within a year, doesn't that make crossing it psychologically worse?
That's the tension, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's structurally sound right after the rebuild, but the danger is all about its flexibility. It's incredibly pliable. It swings wildly in the wind.
So every step makes it shake.
Badly. The fear here isn't misplacing your foot like on the Husseini Bridge. It's the whole thing just snapping, especially as you get closer to the end of that one-year cycle. It's a beautiful tradition for sure, but it does not meet a single modern safety standard.
Okay, so we've covered decaying materials and flexible grass, but let's shift gears now to modern engineering, but taken to an extreme. The vertical challenge. And we have to start in Japan with the Ishima Ohashi Bridge.
Right, the roller coaster bridge.
The photos of this thing are they're wild. From certain angles, the incline looks like a straight wall, like it looks impossible to drive up.
And that design, that extreme height, it was for a very practical reason. It had to be tall enough to let huge container ships pass underneath without any trouble.
Now, the sources do say that the straight wall thing is partly an optical, a trick of the camera lens, but they
Hmm.
also say the climb is still way, way steeper than your average bridge.
It is. And that illusion, that visual, creates this huge psychological pressure on the driver. Even if you know it's not a vertical wall, it looks like one. It has to ramp up your anxiety before you even start climbing.
Totally. And the actual hazard is real. A simple mechanical failure becomes a catastrophe on a slope that steep.
Oh, absolutely. If your brakes fail or your engine gives out on the way up, your car becomes an uncontrollable, metal sled. It's a danger to everyone.
And then you add weather, rain, ice. That makes it incredibly slippery.
And on a slope like that, a little bit of lost tire grip becomes a huge problem very, very quickly. You're fighting physics, momentum, and a design that had to prioritize ships over cars.
So from Japan's engineered slopes, let's go to the complete opposite. A repurposed failure in the middle of a brutal, cold landscape. The Vitim River Bridge in Siberia.
This one tells a very different story. This is about the environment just completely overwhelming a man-made structure.
It has a grim history, right? It was an old railway bridge.
An old, decommissioned railway bridge they decided to use for cars. But it's terrifyingly narrow. Only one car can squeeze across at a time. And it's made of old, rotting wood.
But the real killer is the location, Siberia.
Exactly. For most of the year, you're dealing with severe, cold, heavy snow. And like some of the others, it has no railings, no safety walls at all.
So the wood gets covered in ice.
Thick, slick ice. For something like 9 months of the year, that already shaky wooden surface has almost zero tire grip. You're basically trying to drive across an ice rink suspended hundreds of feet over a frozen river.
The sources mention high air pressure and constant shaking. Is that just the wind funneling through the valley?
That's precisely it. It's extreme wind shear. The air itself is physically pushing your car sideways while the old structure shakes beneath you.
Yeah.
You're fighting the wind, the ice, the bridge's decay, and, the sheer terror of seeing nothing between your tire and the drop.
So people still use it.
Locals do, out of compulsion. But for the adventure seekers who go there,
Sure.
the sources say just making it across is considered a miracle.
All right, we've done shaky grass, we've done icy planks. Now let's talk about just pure vertigo-inducing height, the kind of scale that just messes with your brain.
And for that, we're coming back to the U.S., to the Royal Gorge Bridge in Colorado.
This one is just staggering. It's one of the highest suspension bridges in the world. It hangs about 955 feet above the Arkansas River.
Almost 1,000 feet. That
Mhm.
depth is what defines the entire experience. It's not just a bridge crossing. It's a genuine test of your nerves.
And it's an older bridge, built in 1929. A detail I love from the sources is that the floor is still made of wooden planks. So when you cross, you hear this rattling sound the whole time.
Which just amplifies that sense of instability, right? Even if the main cables are perfectly safe, the sound makes you feel like it isn't.
And at that height, you have to deal with some serious wind.
Fierce wind. The bridge visibly sways. It's not a subtle wobble. It's a noticeable shift that you have to physically and mentally adjust to while you're on it.
But the real danger here, it seems, is psychological. It's what that height does to you.
It is. It's physiological. The sight of that incredible drop 955 feet straight down can cause actual, genuine vertigo. Dizziness, lightheadedness.
So people just turn back.
Many do. The sources say a lot of visitors get halfway across and their brain just can't handle the scale and the exposure, and they have to turn around. It's a structure that basically measures your fear.
It makes you think about other bridges built on that kind of massive scale.
Exactly, like the City River Bridge in China. It's so high up that on a foggy day, the clouds are often just floating beneath the bridge deck.
Which is just an unbelievable image.
Or you think about something like the 7-Mile Bridge in the Florida Keys. It's not about height, but sheer exposure. Miles and miles of road over open ocean.
And if a storm rolls in,
Crossing it during a hurricane is described as being synonymous with inviting death. It's that combination of massive scale and total exposure to the elements that puts these bridges in a category all their own. So when you pull it all together, from the grass ropes in Peru to that dizzying drop in Colorado, what you see is this continuous defiant effort by humanity to conquer nature's obstacle.
we find a way. We build a path.
We build a path, yes.
Yeah.
But the sources show, again and again, that the raw power of nature, the wind, the ice, the deep gorges, the decay over time, that power still has the final say. It's always pushing back against what we create.
So what this all means for you, listening to this, is that these bridges aren't just A to B routes. They're a kind of battleground, a battle between human resolve and just that raw, paralyzing fear.
Right. And whether it's a local person crossing because they have to or a tourist looking for a thrill, they are all literally putting their life in the hands of sometimes a few shaky planks or a fraying rope.
It really drives home the point that even in our super engineered world, there are still these places where the gap between life and death is just a single misstep, a single gust of wind.
We build the bridge, but nature sets the rules for crossing it.
And that brings us to our final thought for you. The sources all point out this one thing. What looks like a cool photo or a dramatic drone video online is a completely different, heart-stopping physical experience when you are the one standing there looking down.
A very personal experience.
So if you are faced with one of these structures, know